Hi, I'm Dick Gelfand of Therapeutic Spiritual Counseling, and this particular talk is going to be, I think, short and sweet on a very, very important subject. My practice has evolved at this point to where just about 50-50, my time is split fairly evenly now between giving sessions to participants and mentoring and training other practitioners in my approach and my techniques. So in this case, this message is for both sides. It's something that every practitioner, I feel, really must understand very well. And the same applies to participants in my sessions, or even more so in sessions with other practitioners who may not be likely to already understand this. And it's to your benefit to know it and to honor it and enforce it as needed. Excuse me. So what that is if you're the practitioner and your participant or your client, or whatever word you use, is not looking at you. If you're working like I do and doing it over the internet, then they're not looking at you through the camera. Okay, as long as they're not looking at you, once a session is underway and something is being addressed, that means that they're processing something relative to the material that's being addressed. That's what it always means. So even though the client or the participant may very well be saying, "That's my answer, that's all I've got, that's it." If they are looking away like this, that means their attention is on some aspect of this material that is still manifesting, okay? That their spiritual compass is still streaming more material in relation to the subject that is being addressed. It's as simple as that. They're not looking at you. If you're the practitioner, never ever interrupt them, okay? Don't speak. Okay, it's true that all of us who are counselors, we do tend to speak too quickly and too much. We fall too much in love with our procedures and following the steps of whatever we're doing and keeping things moving. You have to understand, as a practitioner, you must be very, very patient. You must be very observant. You must really be with the client, be empathic, be in their mind, understand what they're encountering, what's happening within them. It is incumbent upon you to allow that to be to the best of your ability, and to always develop your abilities and attention in that direction. So you never, ever, ever want to interrupt or distract somebody who is in the middle of processing something. That stream of consciousness is working for them if they're not looking at you. That's a great thing. That's what you want, because the changes come about through the digesting of the spiritual architectures, of the energies of the negative spiritual architectures of the person in front of you. So if they're looking away, something good is happening. Allow it to continue. It's really that simple. And again, that's even if your client has said that's all they've got, that's the answer. If they're not looking at you, say nothing. And I promise you, as I have seen from much experience, that they will continue to find more material, and then they will relay it to you, and then they will look up to you like, okay, I'm here with you now, what's next? Until you get that, be silent. Appreciate that the gold of what we are doing is in all of those moments when the participant is engaged in their material. Your job is to help them to get there. Once they're there, let the process take place. It's really that simple. And so this also applies to those of you, or any of us, who are engaged in a session from the perspective of being the participant and not the practitioner. Okay? If you've got something going on, you're focusing on it, it's getting your attention, and your counselor, your practitioner, is saying or asking you something, it's okay to say, just give me a minute, just a minute, okay? Continue to look away, And you just express in some way, not yet, not yet, don't interrupt. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've still got something going on, just a minute. Let that stream of consciousness play out. You've got a spiritual compass, which part of its natural function is to provide and present exactly what you need to digest, become aware of, and process the energies of in relation to what it is you are trying to resolve. And it streams this information and this energy to you at a flow rate that is perfect for you to digest it. Unlike how things can happen in life when you can get overwhelmed with something that happens with much more force and in much less time than you can digest it. The context of a session is where you get to accept and digest all the negative energies, all the negative spiritual architectures at the rate in which you can do it. And you have this part of you, this instinct, this spiritual compass that flows this material to you, again, at the precise optimum rate for you to digest it. It's like not eating too quickly or too slowly. It's just perfect. So you never want to interrupt that process. And again, that applies to the practitioner. You've got exactly what you want going on there. Let it happen. Don't get in the way. As long as the client or participant is not looking at you, they're busy. They're busy doing exactly what you want them to be doing. And if you're the client or the participant, when you need to make it known that there's something going on, there's something happening for you, and you need a moment to digest it, you let the counselor practitioner know. Something good is happening. Something meaningful is happening right now. Just give me a minute. I'll explain at the other end of it. You've got to make that known to your practitioner, counselor, or the person helping you through the sessions, and allow yourself the experience and the benefit of fully digesting what's there to be digested, and not to have it cut off by some distractive statement or question. Your job is not to cooperate with or please the practitioner necessarily. There are times when maybe they're not really understanding what's happening for you fully. And part of my purpose in making this video is to convey this to every practitioner who will listen and see this video, to understand that if you're not looking at the practitioner, then exactly what needs to happen is already happening. It really is that simple. So let's all keep that in mind. Let's all pass it along. And of course, I understand this quite well. And I'm available. I'm available if you want to engage as a participant. And I'm just as available to mentor and train my colleagues and friends, other practitioners, to smoothly and knowingly and confidently proceed as I am suggesting for the maximum benefits of your practitioner. Thank you for listening. That's it for this moment.